Welcome back to the channel. This is a review of episode 4 of Daredevil Born Again. It's quite an interesting show here. More like the human elements going on here than just a regular superhero TV show like some of the other ones were. This episode 4 picks up right where episode 3 ends at. About the trial of Hector and then his shooting at the end of episode 3. Now we saw the person that shot him. We didn't see his face, but he was walking towards the screen. We saw the Punisher emblem on here. So was that the Punisher, or was it someone that was hired to dress up like the Punisher? Now, as the episode proceeds, we see is Murdoch's having all these different trials going on. The court system keeps failing him. It failed. He felt like it failed him. He let Hector out, but then it set him up to get killed. Then there's another client he's got who's about to go to jail over a box of fiddle faddles. That whole little sequence is crazy. And Murdoch is also still battling with his decision about whether to be Daredevil or not. He's trying not to do it. He's trying to let the law and the system work. But he's seeing how it keeps failing him over and over and over. He goes back to the scene of Hector's shooting, and he's able to trace and find the bullet. And it has the emblem of the Punisher on it. So he goes to Castle's house, and they have this interesting discussion about Foggy, about what he really wants to do to get revenge on those that he felt like the system is failing them. And Frank Castle, a.k.a. the Punisher, kind of challenges him to go back to being Daredevil. He puts that thought into his mind, that he's not his little hero or something, that he needs to go and take justice into his own hand. And the last that we see of Murdoch, he's on his rooftop with the little batons, and he opens up the door, and you see all the different Daredevil helmets. That was done pretty well. He's conflicted, but to me, he looks like he's made a decision. He's going to go back to being Daredevil. Meanwhile, Wilson Fisk, played excellently by Vincent D'Onofrio, is still having his own personal problems as a mayor and husband. Him and his wife Vanessa are still in conflict, going to see a marriage counselor. And then he has this garbage situation with the city sewage system that embarrasses him, and he gets enrages. And they're talking about forgiveness to him in the counseling session. So the guy that did it, that had the leak, he kind of forgives him, even though he's enraged. But he lets him know if he just happens again, this will be the last mistake he has. And his marriage counseling session with Vanessa, her affair with Adam comes up. He keeps saying, nope, I'm not going to do anything. We're going to move on past that, because he says he's all in love with Vanessa and he wants to get back with her together. But as we see later on, the missing Adam, who no one knows where he is down in some cage. That Kingpin has him in a cage, tied up. He comes down here to eat, and then the camera pans, and we see Adam. He's still locked up. So Kingpin is just below the surface of Wilson Fisk. Kingpin is still there. And then at the very end, we see this mysterious character injecting this man with some fluid, and the camera comes up, and we see his face. Now, as a comic book person, you would know who that is, the Muse. The Muse is a character in the Daredevil comic book. He's just a psychological killer. He's really brutal. Does a lot of things to mess people over. So we're going to see where this story goes on. Maybe there was the Muse. Let's guess and say it was the Muse that killed Hector, dressed up as the Punisher. I'm going to guess. We'll see. We'll see as the show goes on how this is going. So what do you think about this show? How do you think it's progressing? Do you like the fact that he hasn't really turned into Daredevil since episode 1? Do you like the Fisk that's kind of more reserved? He's not this brutal bully like he's been in like the first season of Daredevil, or even in Hawkeye, where he was an Echo, where he was just brutal guy. I mean, he was just beating everybody up in those shows. But he's more reserved in this thing. But I think Vincent D'Onofrio is doing a great job as a portrayal of him. I'll be honest with you, he's actually stealing the show from Charlie Cox, who plays Daredevil. Remember, KDS reviews can be seen every Wednesday and every Sunday. If you like this type of content, then like, subscribe, and share. Let's leave some comments down below. What do you think of this Daredevil episode? What do you think of Daredevil episode overall? Do you like the version of Daredevil that was on Netflix before it switched over to Disney Plus? This is KDS Reviews, and I will see you in the next video.